Coach, you called this last year the most meaningful game on your schedule to a lot of your fans and students, faculty. How is your team embracing that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Has always been and will always be the most meaningful game on our schedule. So obviously a lot of pride with our university, our former players and coaches that have been a part of this program for, decades, building it and working tirelessly to have a first-class program, and obviously our fans and community. It means a lot, and we acknowledge it, and I think we also acknowledge that we have a collective responsibility to be the best that we can be, to play with great effort in this game, and because we certainly represent all of that when the ball is thrown up at the jump.
Sean, has the transfer portal changed this game at all?
I don't think so. I would tell you that, the answer to that question would be, I think a lot has changed with college basketball. In the last 2 years, last 5 years, it's not even the same sport, but I don't think much has changed with this game.
That being said, does it make you feel better to have some guys who have been through the shootout multiple times and know what it's about in your locker room?
Yeah, and that's an advantage, but I would say, Rick, it's an advantage, for example, experience is an advantage for your season opener. We're getting ready to enter Big East play soon, and having players that have played in the Big East before, that's the advantage. So I think that the advantage of returning players and veteran players that have been through things at Xavier is always a good thing. And to answer your question specifically, certainly players that have been in this game before, they have a better feel and understanding of what it means.
What does winning this game, what can it do for a team from a confidence perspective with what you have down the road with Big East play opening up?
Yeah, look, winning this game is big, and losing this game is not a good feeling. You experience it, but the one thing that you have to be able to do in really probably both of our cases, not speaking for UC, but the Big 12 offers them an abundance of challenges, both home and away, and obviously we're in the Big East Conference, the same for us. So, regardless, right now our focus is this game, nothing bigger than that. But when that ends, you have to leave it, move from it, learn from it. No different than losing at TCU and the way that game happened. Maybe even playing against a Morgan State and winning by the margin that we won. There's a lot you can take from both of those experiences, and it's important for all of us to be able to learn from, move on from, this game being no different than that. The game itself, though, it's about the game. It's about UC. It's about being at our best on Saturday. Our picture's pretty small. We don't want to inch above and beyond that, because that's our responsibility is we have to be at our best. We have to play our best. We have to play with amazing effort and energy in this game. That's our cause, and right now that's our focus.
How hard, Sean, is it to win this game on the road?
Every game's hard, especially against a big crowd and good team, and I think UC offers both those challenges: a good team and a big crowd. It's certainly difficult, and look, winning on the road in college basketball. Not that I've been a coach in another sport, but man, I think that's one of the things that makes college basketball so fun to follow as a fan, because the difference between playing games at home and away are so different. The power of the home crowd, the student section, the comfort of, for example, for us, the Cintas Center, and trying to magnify that and get the most out of that in the 2 hours that the game is played in front of them, versus overcoming that same thing on the road. It's just there's a huge swing and challenge. So, I think that the teams that you love to be around, that you feel the best about as a coach, are teams that really are about the same. They're able to play very composed on the road and not be a lot different. And then the same thing at home in front of their home crowd. So we're not there yet. We're just at the beginning of learning how to play on the road. But this is certainly a big experience for us.
Both of these teams have pretty talented guards. How have you been encouraged by Dante Maddox's play in the last couple of games as he kind of eases more into that role?
Yeah, I think Dante is continuing to get more comfortable. First, it all starts with first is just his attitude and his ability to be coachable. And I would give Dante an A in both of those. He loves the game. He's a really good teammate. If he's been frustrated at all here early on, he wants to do better and do more, and that's great. We want him to want to do better and do more, and I think he has a real avenue to do that. We need him. We need our guys that don't start the game to be productive players, but I think Dante's recent play is moving him in a good way. And also, me judging these guys in practice, he cuts no corners, and he's only going to get better as he becomes more comfortable. So Dante can make shots, and we love his experience, and we need him to continue to be more comfortable. But I like the direction he's moving in right now.
Cam Fletcher got a few more minutes the other night, and Zach talked after the game about how well he's been practicing, won the gold jersey last week. How has kind of Cam come on the scene a little bit more here lately?
Yeah, one aspect of Cam that we all really like is just his ability to rebound. He's done it earlier in his career when he was healthy. He's done it here as he's become healthier and he's practiced more. I just always put a caution next to Cam, not because anything's wrong, but the path that he's on. I mean, he's just begun playing. I mean, Cam didn't play at all this summer. He didn't play at all this fall. We've erred on the side of extreme caution, with his health, with his strength and conditioning, and making sure that he's got both feet on the ground. And I think the last probably 8 weeks is when he's really been back the most. And that's not a long time, especially when you consider how much time he missed. But you saw it the other night, open threes, rebounding, physicality. Those are things that he can bring to the table. And, we're continuing to – we're not a finished product. We're continuing to look at how our roster can become better, how our team can become better, and he's a part of that.
Sean, you guys had the big win over Morgan State on Tuesday night. Talk about the importance of having that game heading into a big rivalry matchup in comparison to what Cincinnati's going through, having a week off heading into a big rivalry matchup.
I can't really speak on what's best. A year ago we lost at home to Delaware. I think we lost 3 in a row. The world was crumbling around us, and to some degree, I think all of that galvanized our performance in this very game, where we were cornered. We played with a lot of effort and energy. We were really focused on the task at hand, and maybe a year ago, that allowed us to be at our best in this game, because that's what we're trying to do. You're in a game like this where you have a week to prepare, a week to get healthy. You can make an argument that that's the best bet. At the end of the day, you just have to be ready when the ball's being tipped up, which for us is 2 o'clock on Saturday.
Coach, we're in the Skyline Chili Crosstown Shootout here. Skyline known internationally for its chili, but really what makes it what it is those secret ingredients, the chocolate, the cinnamon. What are some of those things that are going to show up in a similar token that aren't really on the stat sheet but need to be executed and the casual viewer may not see but are going to be the keys to winning the game?
If it's secret, how do you know it's chocolate and cinnamon?
Sound better,
Question. What do you think? What's your answer?
It's not really secret. They claim to be secret for marketing.
Okay.
I'm no marketing major.
Gotcha. Look, I think in big games, it's as much as it comes down, you want it to come down to a trick play or something new, and hey, let's fool them with this or add something. It always goes back to what makes your team the best that it can be. We all have good characteristics, and I think in a big game, you want to take those good characteristics and be good at them. What you don't is something your team's done really well, and you get into this type of game and you don't do it well, because that's when you're not going to be at your best. Don't allow the strengths of your team to not show up big in a game like this. So you hear it a lot. Do what we do and do it really well. Keep getting better at it, and allow it to be a strength in your biggest moments. We have to be a team that can take good care of the ball on an away court. We have to be able to rebound both defensively against a really good offensive rebounding team, and then be able to get some second shots ourselves, something that we're trying to do better. And, I think as simple as that sounds, those are the things that tangibly will allow us to be the best that we can be.
Sean, you guys played against a guy, Dylan Mitchell, 2 years ago during his freshman season in the NCAA tournament. Talk about how much you've seen his game grow over the 2 years and what he provides for Cincinnati on this matchup Saturday.
Yeah, Dylan Mitchell is, he's a great talent. Athletically, there aren't a lot of guys that run, jump like him, especially with his size. But, he also seems to be a very smart player. His assist-to-turnover ratio seems to be clever in terms of doing all the team things, passing, helping them run their system, being a good defender. But, the one thing that really jumps out is just his athleticism in transition and his ability to really change the game by high effort on the glass, getting key second shots and obviously being a really good defensive rebounder as well. But he's been a really big addition to their team, and we respect him a lot.
Sean, what stands out about their defensive style of play, and have you seen any other teams throughout the non-conference that play a similar style on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I think UC is a very good defensive team. A year ago, just following them, they seemed to grow and get better as last year unfolded. So maybe who they would have been early in the season defensively, they were good. But, they really became good in the Big 12 a year ago, and I think they have a lot of carryover from that. They rebound, they pressure the ball. Their guards can really guard the ball. And again, I think they have quality depth. Teams that have quality depth, you can really sustain high effort. And on the defensive end, I think they really do a good job of using that. For us, we've played against a lot of pressure this year. We have. Even if you look at the win-loss record of the teams we've played against, most of the teams we've played against have really pressured ball pressure, switching, trying to get deflections, forcing turnovers. So, we really call on that game experience moving forward, not just against UC, but I think the 10 games we've played have had a lot of that in common. Michigan, for example, depth, forced turnovers, play very, very good man-to-man defense. So, yeah, hopefully all those experiences help us.